Hi everybody. So in this video I want to show you how you can use a photoresistor and build a dusk till dawn light. And what a dusk till dawn light is, you probably see these used a lot in street lights, or sometimes you'll see them around people's houses, things like that. But they're lights that when it is evening time, it starts to get dark, the light turns on, and when the sun comes up in the morning, the light turns off. And what a number of these lights are doing is they're actually sensing the ambient light outside to decide whether they should turn their light on or off. And they're a lot of times using a photoresistor. So I've got the same circuit I had in the last video. Let me see if I move this wire a little bit so you can see that. I've got my power, of course, coming from the 5 volts and ground going to positive and negative on the Arduino board. Then I've got the photoresistor coming from the positive supply down connected to this fixed 10K resistor going back to the negative. I'm reading that into the analog 0 channel so that I can detect what the ambient light is, or what the light is that's hitting the photoresistor. I've now added in an LED with a current limiting resistor going back to ground, and I'm controlling that LED with channel 8. So channel 8, when that was turned on, current would flow through this wire, through the LED, through that resistor, and back to ground. So let's take a look at the code and see how this is working here. And actually, maybe before I look at the code, let me just show you how it's working. So the way I've got it set up, the current ambient conditions are considered daylight, and so the blue LED is not on. If I take the pencil and I shade out the photoresistor, that'll simulate it being like nighttime, and the LED should come on. So let's take a look here. So I shade it out and the LED comes on, pull it away, goes off. So nighttime, light comes on, daytime, goes off. On, off. So now let's look at the code and see how we did this. So again, starting off in the setup, the first thing I needed to do was to set channel 8 as an output, as that's going to be the channel that controls the LED. Once that's done, we can go into our loop here, and let's take a look at this first command. So this is the read command, and so remember, this is what's going to read the value of the ambient light, or see how bright it is. That command we're using is analog read. We're reading in channel A0. Then we're making an integer variable sensor value, and we're putting the analog read value into the container sensor value. So that tells us how bright it is outside. Now we've got a new command, which is an if statement. So this is a logical command, and it does exactly what it looks like. So if sensor value is less than 100, then we're going to do this. Otherwise, or else, we're going to do this. So if the sensor value is below 100, that is, if it's being shaded out, then what we want to do is we want to write channel 8 high. We want to turn channel 8 on, channel 8 being the channel that controls the LED. If the sensor value is not less than 100, then that's the else statement, then we want to write it lower, we want to turn it off. So that is what's going on in this dusk till dawn code. We can adjust the sensitivity. Maybe we want it to, maybe we want these current conditions to be more of a dusk condition, so the light should be on. We'll change this to a higher value. We'll re-upload the code, and now you see the light's on in ambient conditions. But if I take a flashlight, bring that in, then it turns off when it's really bright and on when it's just kind of maybe more of a dusk type setting. So you can play around with that threshold value to set the sensitivity of your dusk till dawn timer.